Hello, Simone. So this is a review of a summary, I should say, of the last session. So we did that already. Okay, so I'm just showing you what we did so far. So November 28th. And in fact, we're already in December, very close to Christmas. Very Merry Christmas. I'm just kidding. Merry Christmas very soon. So Christmas shopping has been done yesterday. It's finished yesterday. All I have to do is to make sure the food will be. I don't need any other ingredients. I don't need other things. I'll make some few side dishes. There's like a big turkey. We're gonna cook with nuts and different stuffings. What else? What else? We have like this kind of a Mexican dish a friend will make. It's very, very good. It's made with rosemary and different chilies. It's very, very nice. Doesn't look very exceptional, but it's very good. Anyways, so uh, on Monday, I mean, not today, Monday, but the last Monday, you couldn't take the session because you had a high blood pressure. And in fact, your doctor told you that you have preeclampsia. Preeclampsia. I heard of it when I was pregnant, but I never had it. And yeah, I heard about the different symptoms. I was not really, when you are pregnant, you can get a bit paranoid about the different things you could potentially um, attract, or your potential infections you could get, with the food, with the environment, etc., etc. And but this one I heard of it, but I was never really too interested in it. I didn't have a high blood pressure, was more like eating. That's it. My gynecologue, my obstetrician, she was just the one to be a bit paranoid and having different difficulties. She said, you should eat less, you should do that, should do that. And she was also pregnant. She had twins at the same. She was pregnant of twins, and she lost one. And no, she didn't lose one. The twins were not very feeling good, and I had a perfect pregnancy, and she didn't. And she was the one to give me a lot of advices. So after a while, I was like, yeah, well, you are full of stupidities. Yeah, you don't always have to. If you have a good pregnancy, you shouldn't question too much. That's it. And this is a link for the different symptoms. So they are quite um, you know, not really mild, because when you're pregnant, everything can be a potential problem. But anyway, you feel better, you are better. I hope you feel better today. And because of the taxes, toys are more expensive in Brazil because of the taxes. So importation tax, I'm pretty sure it's about that. Gadgets, I'm pretty sure the consoles, the game consoles, iPhones, iPad, tablets, etc., computers, laptops are more expensive because you guys have to import them in Brazil. If you were making a lot of stuff and exporting a lot of stuff, you will have probably cheaper devices. Devices, devices. Okay, this is for you actually. So devices for you. Okay, different objects. Um, to freak out, it's like to get scared and you exaggerate a situation, like to freak out. That's the infinitive verb. To be freaked out. He's freaked out, or he was freaked out. I was freaked out. Or we can use it as a progressive present tense. He's freaking me out. No, okay, hold on. I forgot one. I was freaking out when I heard the news. Okay, and he's freaking me out, so he's giving me this feeling. He's freaking me out, she's freaking me out, or this situation is freaking me out. Okay, this situation is freaking me out. That's it. Devices, it's for another thing. So the taxes, we talked about the gun lobby. Lobby is like a power you have in America, any kind of countries, basically. You have the tobacco lobby, the alcohol lobby. You have different lobbies, um, and it's how can I say? They with money they can influence the decisions made or that will be made in the future by the different politicians. Okay, so they go to Washington D.C. for instance, and they are like, look, I'll give you a million if you do not pass this new law about, I don't know, the guns. Okay, they have a lot of power, especially the gun lobby. They can potentially affect the decision making made in Washington D.C. Um, I was almost ready to say the decision making. The decision making is like a noun, you know. We can in American English, in English basically, there are many words or adjectives you can turn into nouns. Okay, this is what we call the compound nouns. We'll see that in the future. Okay, so Donald Trump, we talked about him. He's not fit to office or to lead the country. He's not suitable or competent to run the country. Michael Moore wrote different, it's like different tips, different things to do after the elections, and one of them was very interesting, very interesting. Everyone must stop saying they are stunned or shocked. What you mean to say is that you were in a bubble and weren't paying attention to your fellow Americans and their despair. Years of being neglected by both countries, the anger and the need for revenge against the system only grew. Along, together, sorry, came a TV star they liked, whose plan was to destroy both parties and tell them all, "You're fired." Trump's victory is no surprise. He was never a joke. Treating him as one only strengthened him, so made him stronger. He's both a creature and a creation of the media, and the media will never own that. Shadow government is any kind of corporations, big wallets, people with lots of money, lots of abilities to invest or even buy people, because you can still buy people, especially in America. Shadow governments, any kind of people who are behind any kind of government, they tell them what to do, and the president is basically a puppet. And let's be honest, you have a lot of lobbies behind, a lot of corporations. They tell them, look, if you don't do as you're told, we're going to lose millions of jobs, and you're going to just destroy the economy. So there is like a threat, threat, a threat. People have a short memory. It's been done also with Bush, George Bush, the father, the son. Bill Clinton was also a puppet in order to sign NAFTA and different treaties. Americans, they used to have the Medicaid and the Medicare. It's for people, they don't have enough money to have access to healthcare system. So it's not like there's nothing available. There is something available. But if you have, let's say, two jobs, which is very common for Americans, two jobs, you cannot make it because you have kids, taxes, pays rent, paying the bills, and and they tell you, you get too much, you get too much money, even though it's not enough to survive. You get too much money to have access to the Medicare or Medicaid. Now it's called the Obamacare, because Obama has a big ego. I'm not a Republican, far from it. I'm more liberal, I'm more Democrat, but I don't like too much Obama because he gives this impression of being this cool guy, the black guy. It's like after George Bush, we had the black guy in order because to appeal to the new old minority, which is the black community. You never say Negro or nigger in American English. And so Obamacare is the same. It's just changing the name, but basically you have, you still have a lot of people. They have too much money per month, so their income is too high, even though they don't make enough money to survive, to have access to the Obamacare. It's not perfect, huh? It's not a perfect stuff. It's still a problem. The medical bills are too high in America. Treatments are too high, too expensive. So go figure, many people go to Canada or Mexico because it's cheaper. Many Americans go to Brazil, Europeans as well. They go to Brazil for plastic surgery, but it's not an essential thing. On a different level, we have Bernie Sanders, who, for many Americans, he was a Democrat. He was supposed to represent the Democratic Party for the presidential elections, but they chose Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders because um, they thought Hillary Clinton, that was her moment, to shine, and actually Bernie Sanders had a higher potential to win against Donald Trump, but they chose Hillary Clinton, and she lost beautifully. The newcomers, any kind of people who are coming, new people coming somewhere, basically. So it can be immigrants, it can be, new students, it can be new employees, somebody new coming to a new place. Okay, so the newcomers who are coming to America or Canada, you know, they have an idea of what's going on, but not necessarily, a complete idea of the political situation in America and or in Canada. Okay, we went through this picture. Let's see if I can just open it here. And we went through all the different. I'm going to zoom in because you cannot see a thing. This woman, she has a backache. She has a stomach ache. Some kids, they say a belly ache, a tummy ache, belly, a stomach ache, belly ache. It can be a toothache, a cough, and a cold. Okay, after we saw the difference between a cold and the flu is stronger. A sore throat is when you have an infected throat and you cannot really talk and you cough too much and probably you have mucus coming out. Backache, this is what she has. A headache, that's a head. A flu. Stomachache, backache, a cold, a runny nose is when you have, the nose is running with a lot of water, mucus. The flu, stomachache, headache, toothache, stomachache, sorry about that, cough, that's a cough, a runny nose, a headache, a cold, a cough, a stomachache, a headache. Okay, let me just go through this stuff real quick. If you have the flu, you should eat chicken soup. Chicken soup or chicken broth in American English. Broth is broth. It's a chicken soup, basically. You cook a chicken in water with salt and whatever, onions, garlic, a tiny bit. And after you get the liquid out of that, you drink it when you're sick. So a chicken broth, or vegetable broth, okay, etc. Whatever you want to cook. You should eat chicken soup. If you have a sore throat, you shouldn't drink cold drinks. If you have a runny nose, you should buy some Kleenex. You see, we can take the brand name of the thing, tissues. Okay. If you have a headache, or headache, you can say that as well. You shouldn't listen to loud music. If you have toothache or a toothache, sorry about that, you shouldn't eat candies. Okay. So that's just a dialogue. I just wanted to go through, some vocabulary. It's not really essential, but I think it's important. A cold, to catch a cold or to get the flu. There are flu shots, not cold shots. The flu shots are vaccines. It's a vaccine that's being improved every year. I stay away from that because my friends and my family, they went through that and they got even sicker. So no, thank you. To get the flu is a tiny bit, we talked about the swine flu, the bird flu, the H1N1, the flu essentially. We don't talk about cold. And H1N1, gastritis. Gastritis is when you have an infected stomach, you cannot really eat whatever you want. You feel really nauseous and everything. A runny nose. Look at this picture. Okay, is it a cold or is it the flu? So the flu is on the left side and the flu is on the right side, sorry, and the cold is on the left side. So rare headaches, a normal temperature, slight aches and pains. You don't have like muscle aches, it's not as intense as the flu. Sneezing, and you blow your nose, okay? Runny nose, water coming out of your nose all the time, sore throat, you don't cough, but it's very infected, or either it's very dry or you really cough a lot of stuff. But it's very painful. The sore throat is very painful. After you have a mild to moderate aching cough, you can open it. Huh? It's just a second go. Moderate aching. Something that is aching is like painful cough. So you cough, it's painful when you cough. And look at something, let me just reduce the size of the window, it would be easier, okay? So you have a treatment, something that can help you breathe, tissue, on this side, and on the other side, that's the flu. So you have a headache, you have a temperature that can last for 3 to 4 days, aches, pains, extreme fatigue, weakness, last 2 to 3 weeks, severe cough and chest discomfort, okay? And it's stronger, so you see the eye, temperature, doesn't have a runny nose, but it's painful. Generally, it's like your whole body is aching and is very tired, so you cannot really walk and work. You're just tired. Okay. After we have, just be careful when you say I'm pregnant. This is a pregnancy. This is a noun, but pregnant is behaving as an adjective. I am pregnant, or this is a pregnancy. Okay. You told me about The Economist. This is a good one. I don't always agree with what they say, but I think it would be interesting for you to have a membership for two different American or British magazines. The Guardians, that's the link I gave you concerning the Brazilian news. We talked about the floor. You said that you have tiles because it's fresher. I have tiles, but in many, many Canadian houses, they are wooden floors. In America, it's very common to have carpets. Okay, and linoleum is like this kind of fake floor you have, but it's made with plastic. Tiles on the stuff you have at home. Filter, to filter something, you protect something, you can filter, you can perfect something, or you can filter the news in order to get the best news. Okay. Tantrum, to have a tantrum, you'll see when your kid is about 2. You'll see they want a lot of stuff. Okay, so what's dangerous is when you go to the supermarket. To go cold turkey, that's a full expression. To go cold turkey is for people who are addicted to something and they have to stop right away. It's like, no, you go cold turkey, you're not going to take your drugs, you stop right now, okay? Or you stop drinking right now. So the reaction is pretty aggressive, pretty intense, but I think it's important for some people to realize that some people care about them, and the body is something we are naturally, as mammals, we are naturally inclined to get addicted to things. That's a biological thing, and also used in marketing, for people to get hooked on certain smells, behaviors, etc. That's like very advanced marketing. You can study if you don't want to be hooked on certain things, certain um, the perfect behavior of a consumer, consumerism, or different ways of trying to prove. I mean, not to prove, but to show you have a personality by buying. Some people, they are addicted to this behavior. They buy personality by buying certain products. They feel like they belong to this kind of tribes. So this is very interesting. That's the end of the recording. I'll see you. I think that's it. Huh? Okay. I'll see you in a few hours. Okay. It's earlier here in Canada, and still cannot get to this stuff. Like, we have so many hours of difference. But anyway, I hope you feel better. I hope you had a great weekend and you're preparing slowly but surely Christmas. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.